What up, everybody? It is I, yours truly, the man, the epic collector, the man, the myth, the legend. All right, closing that shit. Hey guys, what is happening? Back with another book review for you. Iron Man Volume 10, The Enemy Within. This, guys, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of dark, right? This looks like a dark. Here, no, that's not even good. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. If you can't, sorry, not sorry. I don't know. What can I tell you? I got to buy a ring light, I guess. Anyway, this right here, guys, is the very first epic that was ever published way back in 2013, September 18th, I believe, of 2013. So we're upon the 12th year that the epics were first created for my enjoyment as well as yours. Hopefully you guys are reading it. It's funny how they chose this, though, to be the first to be the first epic book, Iron Man Volume 10, of all eras, 1982 to 1983. Denny O'Neil, Luke McDonald, and a shit ton of other people involved in this. Yeah, that's like, okay, not X-Men, not Spider-Man, not Fantastic Four, or something more popular. For those of you who don't know, I just wanted to say, the reason for the epics, apparently, turns out they were meant to be gap fillers for other books that were published. You know, Essentials, Masterworks, I'm pretty sure omnibuses, whatever, however the plural form is, they filled in the gaps. But like Masterworks, Essentials, what else? There's so many other different, then there were like storyline compilations and what do you call it? Jesus, trades. That's what I was thinking. Trade paperbacks of storyline oriented books, whatever. And the epics were meant to bridge those gaps. I guess I'll give them a plug. Near mint condition. That dude Omar, he has a pretty epic, no pun intended, pretty fucking stellar collection. And he has them in a way where the epics are put in with other trades as gap fillers. And I think that's how these were. That's why there's so many volumes missing in a lot of the titles, because really in the beginning they weren't meant to be what they are today. But I think since the epics took off the way they have, and schmucks like me have shelled out tens of thousands of dollars to have, as of now, guys, I just put in the order for Volume 3 of Thunderbolts. So I'm at 336 epics. Only the original classic, guys, not modern, not ultimate, not other stuff, just FYI. But yeah, it all began with this trade right here, guys. Anyway, that's a little bit of a history lesson for you. Hopefully we'll get some more epics to fill in the gaps that they were meant to fill and whatever. So I'll be honest, full disclosure, guys, I'm not a huge Iron Man fan. Never was. Not to say I never will be, because that's what I'm reading the epics for. And because of these epics now, I have such a whole new respect for Captain America, Daredevil, Hulk, Fantastic Four, Avengers. I always loved X-Men and Spider-Man. That's the individual issues that's where it was at for me. Everything else, like, wow, Doctor Strange, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you guys know, Moon Knight, I love it all. So Iron Man just is an interesting pick for me, just to say that I'm reading Iron Man issues, because never in a million years could even begin to fathom that I would be reading any Iron Man comics, let alone even liking them. Because I always thought, Iron Man, Daredevil, Captain America, they're pretty boring. They're not popular like X-Men or Spider-Man or whatever. But I really like it. I like what I'm reading. Like, again, Gruenwald's run in Captain America was pretty stellar. I guess I'm getting off track. But you know what I'm saying, guys. My point is that Iron Man and this particular volume is pretty unique. Why is it unique? We are dealing, I guess, with round 2 of Tony Stark's alcoholism, which is predominantly written by Denny O'Neil, with a lot of penciling by Luke McDonald. So we got McDonald, excuse me, not McDonald, but yeah. So this is the O'Neill McDonald era, early '80s. It covers 158 to 177 of Iron Man and Annual number 5. So you got 21 issues to read, 504 pages. And yeah, I started it yesterday. I actually took Sunday off. So I started the book yesterday and finished it today. So I finished it within a day. So I don't know. I don't know how quickly you guys can read books, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. In this volume, I'm not going to go through the whole rundown of each issue, but in the beginning, Tony is still Iron Man. He's fighting, he fights some dude named Sonny in the first, a big fat dude named Sonny who's a nerd, and he has like his mom as a slave. It's pretty weird. That's the first issue, 158. Then, he fights the Serpent Society. No, excuse me. The Serpent Squad, not the Society. There's only 3 members. It's Anaconda, Black Mamba, and Death Adder. So just 3 of them. It's not even like Cobra or King Cobra or any of those people. It's just those 3. And then, we get the first appearance of Obadiah Stane, who proves, like Justin Hammer, to be a real pain in the ass for Tony. Obadiah Stane, I kind of like his name is his name can be a little stupid and annoying to say, but it's also pretty cool. It's a biblical name, Obadiah. And Stane, like a stain on a carpet, but it's not spelled like a stain on a carpet or a rug. It's Stane. So it's like Stark, but if you remove the R and the K and put N and E, you got Stane. And Obadiah Stane first premieres as a chess master, if you will. It's interesting. They're all over the place. Tony is all over the place. He's romancing women. He's fighting. He's in like Scotland. Why was he in Scotland? I wrote the rundown on the post, so if you guys want to check it out, I forgot. But somehow he's in Scotland with Rhodey, James Rhodey Rhodes, the black dude, his pilot, who will eventually take over for Tony as Iron Man in the subsequent issues. He fights the chessmen, which is like the knight, the bishop, the rook. This is the bishop, by the way, this dude. I thought this was like Merlin or somebody, but it's actually the bishop as part of Stane's chessmen. And then Stane is revealed in 166 as this bald Lex Luthor looking motherfucker, like Charles Xavier, Lex Luthor, all the eggheads, and Egghead himself. A lot of the issues don't really pick up much steam until Tony starts falling off the wagon. Stane, the turning point here is Stane sends out this chick named, oh my gosh, she had the stupidest name too. Like, it's like Indries Moomji. Literally, that's her name. That's how I pronounce it. Indries Moomji. And she romances Tony. Tony falls in love with her. And then she pulls the rug out from under him and is like, I never loved you. I used you, and Tony's brokenhearted. Even though Tony can get whatever woman he wants, for some unknown reason, he's into this chick with this completely stupid name. And that sends him spiraling and tail spilling back into alcohol. For those of you who don't know, in the David Michelinie years, like 160, or actually around issue 118, right at the start of the Michelinie era, which we will get with volume 8. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99.9% sure in volume 8 of Iron Man, we'll see the David Michelinie, Bob Layton run where Tony first imbibes with alcohol to a very detrimental degree. And in this volume 10, we get, I guess, like I said, round 2 earlier, because he relapses. He falls off the wagon and hits the sauce again, sadly. But I will admit, this was some really good drama. I mean, like something out of, again, daytime soap opera, or like watching Sean Connery or Cary Grant become an alcoholic. It's just the pacing is very good. And then I realized, it's Denny O'Neil, who did who worked a lot with DC, with Green Arrow Green Arrow and his sidekick Speedy getting hooked up on heroin, when Batman went dark and gothic in the early 70s, with Neil Adams. Yeah, he didn't really do that much with Marvel. He did some stuff with Marvel, but not to the degree that he did with DC. But I liked Denny O'Neil's writing in Amazing Spider-Man, like in the early 80s, which actually was around this time when he did Iron Man concurrently. Oh no, actually I think he did it before, and then they switched him with J.M. DeMatteis, and then he did Iron Man. Anyway, so Denny O'Neil, great writing, great pacing, and I wonder if maybe Michelinie and even O'Neil had maybe a run-in with alcohol themselves. That might have been what compelled them to write such a realistic, nuanced way to telling a story about how bad alcohol is and how much it can fuck up your life. Tony's in a shithole. He's it's sad. So around issue 169, he decides, okay, I'm gonna give up being Iron Man, and he gives Rhodey the armor. First of all, he reveals himself. Hey, Rhodey, guess what? Tony Stark is Iron Man. I'm Iron Man. And Tony's like, oh my goodness. Okay, cool. I like that. That's my black accent. And that is how I did Rhodey. Not racist, guys, but I'm just having fun with it because I figured that's how they wrote it, But yeah, Rhodey's like, oh my goodness. Okay, I'll be Iron Man. Cool. And yeah, we get a pretty nice cast. No more Pepper Potts. Although there is a Pepper Potts moment where she has a kid. No Happy Hogan. Don't know what happened there, but Pepper apparently has a kid. But now we have like Mrs. Arbogast, who's his secretary, Tony's secretary. We have Vic Martinelli, who's the head of security, which was Happy Hogan's position. We have like Morley Irwin, who teaches Rhodey, because Tony's not available to teach Rhodey how to be Iron Man. We have this dude, Morley Irwin, a little bookworm nerd, who works at Stark, who teaches Rhodey how to be Iron Man, how to work the suit. Then we meet his sister later on, whose name is Clytemnestra. For those of you who don't know, that was Agamemnon's wife in the Iliad. Sometimes I would say Clytemnestra, like a woman's clit, but it's Clytemnestra, just so you guys know. Yeah, I mean, the supporting cast is fine, but who gives a fuck? But it's predominantly, half of it is Tony as Iron Man, half of it with Rhodey as Iron Man, and Tony dealing with his problem, and that dude just spirals. I hope you guys can read this issue. It's funny. Rhodey's first villain is Thunderball, a black man, and I thought, really? The first villain for the new black Iron Man has to be a black supervillain. Okay, that's all. And that's how we got introduced to Clytemnestra. Captain America shows up in 172. Firebrand returns in 172 also. Tony's like in the Bowery, and he's all drunk and stuff. And then Firebrand burns down the building. So then Rhodey as Iron Man and Captain America have to save all the vagrants and the winos and bums, including Tony. Then Tony like disappears, and then he gets mugged, and then he gets rescued. And then Stain buys out Stark International. So now it's Stain International, no more Stark. Then Rhodey takes him to his mom's place in Philadelphia, but then Tony takes off, and then he meets up with this bum who lets him sleep in his cardboard box while it's raining. Really, really weird. Not weird, but just you wouldn't expect this from Tony Stark. Like, the dude's a fucking millionaire. At least he doesn't have to suck dick for alcohol. He has the money, and he actually has access to his money, because every issue it just has him with a bottle of wine or brandy or gin. But it's not pleasant. It's not really pleasant to read because it's very sad, but we know, of course, he's going to overcome it and get back on top. And then he's going to kick Rhodey out and be like, okay, asshole, you're back to being my pilot. I'm Iron Man. Go fuck yourself. But of course, we know Rhodey will eventually become War Machine later on. And that's pretty much it, guys. There was once issue 175 had them. Oh yeah, Nick Fury also. I don't know what was up with Nick Fury. Like he wants to take the Iron. So Stain now owns Stark International. Excuse me. It's no longer Stark Industries. And of course, Stark is no longer dealing in munitions. He's now doesn't make weapons. He just makes inventions. So now Stain owns the armors, and at one point they release all the armors into the ocean, and then they Rhodey and Fury have to deal with Krang, Warlord Krang, and the not the Atlanteans, but his patrol, because Krang wants the Iron Man armor to attack Atlantis. I guess Submariner, Namor, he owns it. He rules Atlantis, so that's his plan. Anyway, this collection, guys, is all over the place. I love it to a degree. I mean, I loved reading it as far as Iron Man goes. Yeah, first print, guys. This is the very first print of the very first Epic release. And do I love it? I say I love Epics. I really liked this volume for a first book of Epics. Nobody knowing what it was meant to be. I thought it was a pretty good collection. Some stories are forgettable. Some, like the very last story, 177, where Power Man and Iron Fist tell Rhodey about a bodyguard, because Rhodey wants to start a new company with Cly and Morley, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I gotta make some money. What do I do? Oh my goodness!" And then Power Man and Iron Fist, and yes, I did the same voice with Luke Cage. They're like, "Why don't you be a bodyguard for this dude in South America?" Meanwhile, there's a revolution going on, and he deals with the Flying Tiger, but he doesn't have access to the armor because the attaché case got thrown away. It's a whole mess. But guys, I recommend you getting it. Oddly enough, this has not been re-released at all. Not a single reprint. So your best bet is to look online to eBay or Amazon. I looked on Amazon. It's already $80 for this. I don't know how much I paid. I remember I bought this like on Amazon somewhere in the 50, maybe $55, $60. I bought this. No regrets. I don't give a fuck. And it was $39.99 at the time. And then they dropped the price to $34.99. And now, oh my God, guys, they're going to raise the Epics to like $60. They're going to be $54.99 and then $59.99. It's like, what? They're actually going to drive people away from buying Epics, which is not good. Marvel's getting greedy, guys, just so you know. But that's a topic for another. That's another topic for another video. So, okay, guys, that's it. I've been on here too long. Volume 10, The Enemy Within, the very first Epic ever published. It is done, guys. If you can find it somewhere, get it and read it. Next one, guys, is going to be Volume 11. So we're moving right along. Duel of Iron, covering 1983 to 1985. Iron Man 178 to 195. And annual 6 and 7 of Iron Man. Yeah. So that's what? 18. That's 20 issues, guys. 178 to 195 and annual 6 and 7 of Iron Man. Next one, guys. And I think Rhodey is still going to be Iron Man as far as the end of Volume 10. And I think maybe Stark comes back. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. I've spoken enough. Take care, guys. Keep reading those Epics. I read them so you don't have to, but I encourage you to do so because Epics are fucking awesome. Like, subscribe, comment, or don't. I don't care, guys, but I do care that you guys read, okay? Work this out, your minds and your bodies too. Get out there and go to the gym and drink water. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.